Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori. If you're new here, it is bright and dusty in here. I apologize. Today, I am showing you my food shortage stock up haul. I have shared in the past the many food shortages that are predicted for 2023-2024. There's a list of about 10, and I've gone over that before. I will briefly talk about it when I turn you around and show you what I plan to get. But I went to Walmart this time. I haven't been there in a while. A lot of you have commented that. So I wanted to show you the prices in my area. I'm excited to find ingredients that are semi-good for us that will be shelf stable. That is the name of the game. There are a number of reasons for food shortages, and they are very real. No matter how much you want to deny it, they are real and they're happening. And oftentimes, because of a shortage, we are relying on other products, and those products are at an inflated price. It's a whole game, and you have to follow the money. So unfortunately, that happens here in the United States. I'm sure it happens in other countries as well, but I am going to show you how you can get around that by stocking up. If you're new here, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button. I teach you to be prepared on a budget, and I would love it if you became part of our YouTube family. I also have another channel that documents our lifestyle here on our very small rural homestead in northern Colorado. So if you want to check out that channel, definitely hit the subscribe button over there. That'll be linked in the description box, and let's get right into today's video. Okay, friends, we are back quite a bit later, of course, but we have our lineup. I feel like looking at it, it is such a classic lineup when you look at food shortage videos, but they are very unique to the year, I guess. So 2023 is all about the shelf-stable baking items, in my opinion. But I did throw in a few different items here that really will get us by. And I was talking to a friend about this. A lot of these items are items that we already buy. We just might buy 2 of that item. You have all the power in the world to go ahead and buy 5 of that item and keep it in your short-term pantry or even your long-term food storage. But I did want to say in this haul, I bought 2 of each. The rest of what you see is in Mylar or mason jars, starting with canned items. Aluminum is on the food shortage list, and there's a number of reasons. I've gotten comments saying that canned food isn't canned in aluminum. Sometimes that's true, but oftentimes it's canned in aluminum or steel. So it's really depending on where you're getting it. And I find that stocking up on canned foods is always a good idea. So if you're not thinking about the food shortage of aluminum cans, just think of canned food items for your long-term pantry because they last a lot longer than their expiration date. And there are different items that you can go with here. So we have some cut green beans, we have pinto beans, we have tricolor beans, and we have black beans. And that was it. That's all I needed. I try and keep 5 of each down in my prepper pantry that you've seen before. I will link my tour, but it's pretty easy to find. Next on the list are going to be cooking oils. I am attempting to stay away from seed oils, but wow, it is in just about everything we eat. You really need to be careful with processed foods. I'm not going to talk about that in this video because you're probably tired of me talking about processed foods and how terrible they are for us. But I went with organic avocado oil this time. You could do olive oil, but even olive oil has its issues. Coconut oil is another shelf-stable great one, but it just depends on what you like. I find this to be a very neutral flavoring, and I like to use it in baking whenever something calls for canola or vegetables. So avocado oil is awesome. And if you look into seed oils, they are endocrine disruptors, and it's just not good for you. So I would suggest moving away from it. Next on the list is going to be cane sugar. And I got a big bag of this. This is one of those foods, like most of the list here, that will last indefinitely. So it's just nice to have when you're storing this in a mason jar and or Mylar bags. You don't want to put an oxygen absorber in there. But again, nice to have on hand. You can with cane sugar. You can use it for baking. There are a number of ways that you can use sugar. Let me know your favorite unique way in the comments down below. Cane sugar is on the food shortage list just because of crop shortage shortage and things of that nature. Do we absolutely have to have cane sugar? No, but you could use different alternatives. There's coconut sugar out there. There's different sweeteners that are low on the glycemic index. But again, you just need to think about what your family likes and what you like and go from there. I say that all the time on these types of videos. If you don't like something, don't stock it. Next up on the list is going to be organic, unbleached, all-purpose flour. I had a 50-pound bag from Azure Standard that I went through. I put that in Mylar and then I put it in a bucket with a gamma lid, and I take from it throughout the year, and that one lasted us just around 11 months. So we did pretty good there. I don't need too much more because I am going through my Mylar as well as my jarred storage down there just to keep things rotated. But this is milled from hard wheat, and I find that it's just a great product. I love Arrowhead Mills. I know some of you do as well. You've mentioned it in the comments down below, but flour is on a food shortage for a number of reasons that you can look into. So flour is great to have on hand. You can make whatever you want with it, but you could find alternatives as well. So flour is on that list. I went ahead and stocked up on just a 5-pound bag this time, but 10-pound bags are relatively inexpensive. They were out at my Walmart. Next up, white rice, another one on the list. This one I can talk about. India, which is one of the biggest exports here, has cut off export. I'm not sure on what kind of rice, but why not just go ahead and get some now? This is the organic white rice. I love this variety. I find that this is a great price as well. I believe it's $5.50 for the organic, but of course you can get the regular rice for $1.77, even cheaper than that I've seen, but this is a good one to have on hand. Dollar Tree does carry organic white rice, but the ounces just don't add up in my price range. So I feel like this is the better value, but it's up to you. Again, this was at Walmart, and rice is a big one. We may not see a lot of white rice coming in, and if we do, it's going to be at an extremely elevated price. So I suggest doing rice right now because it's just something that's good to have on hand. This combined with a can of beans, you have yourself a whole meal, my friend. Or you could add dehydrated veggies or canned meat, and then you are good to go. You do need water to cook rice, so that's something to think about if you're thinking of a bug out scenario or even a grid down. But white rice, again, a forever food that can be stored in Mylar or glass jars. So check out that. Next up on the list, these two are not on the food shortage list, but I did want to talk about it. Baking soda, baking powder. I use a lot of this during the season of baking, which is pretty much now. And I find that the first and second week of November, even creeping into the third, I can get these at a very cheap price, very discounted. So baking soda, the Great Value brand, is going to be 52 cents, but today I got it for 38 cents on rollback. So definitely check your Walmarts around the area. I know that the Walmart in the county over wasn't offering that price, so it really just depends, and these are good to have. Baking soda has a number of uses, but I bake with it majority of the time. Baking powder is another one. This guy is typically $8. Didn't even know that. It was on rollback for $2.97, so I went ahead and found that, and I believe what's in this should just be a few ingredients. There's cornstarch in it, so we've talked about GMO corn. I'm assuming that has it in there, but you know, it is what it is. Baking powder is great to have in the season that we're in. Next up, I've always wanted to try this, haven't got my hands on it. It's always a crazy price for 3 ounces, but Wild Planet, I love their tuna, I love their chicken. I've never tried their beef, and for 3 ounces, typically it's $5, which is insanity, but this guy was $1.78, so I went ahead and found it. It's grass-fed, no added hormones or antibiotics. It's a product of Brazil, but we've talked about that with Wild Planet's tuna. I believe that's a Vietnamese fishing practice, so I don't know a lot about foreign farming and foreign fishing, but I do know that I like Wild Planet's taste, so I went ahead and got this. I thought maybe it would be good in the event of a bug out scenario, so we will taste it, see if I actually like it, and then I will put it in one of our bags. But it's just organic beef, water, and sea salt, so that's good in my opinion. Let's check out calories. Calories 110, sodium's definitely going to be high, 370 there, but protein's 19 grams, so that's actually pretty awesome. Cattle grazed on organic grasslands in Uruguay. So I don't know, What do you think? Let me know if you've tried this. I'm pretty excited. But part of the food shortages are going to be beef. And I know this tiny little packet here isn't going to help us, but I suggest you look into local beef and seeing if you can buy part of a cow, an eighth of a cow, fourth of a cow, half of a cow. Ask your friends. Ask around if they want to go halvesies on you. I've done that. You can do that with bison out here. You can do that with some wild game. So I suggest looking into that. Meat is always good to have on hand, and we need it. As humans, you need animal protein. I know that is a hot contested debate, but it's very important, especially for women. Next up is going to be organic Amy's black bean chili. Again, I've talked about this before. It is minimal ingredients, definitely high on the sodium, but this one always goes in my bug out bag. The only thing that bothers me in here is going to be the sunflower oil, but it's high oleic and it's organic. So I feel like if you're going to do any of the seed oils, that's the best way to do it. And this has a lot of good flavor. So in my mind, I'm going to be pairing this with potatoes, maybe some beef, maybe even some extra beans, and then I'm going to throw it over some rice or another grain. I think that's a really great way to bulk up a small can of soup, essentially. And that's another complete meal that you can just keep in a can. And that was a big one on the food shortage list, just complete meals in a can. I'm assuming because of the aluminum shortage. So this is what I got this week. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I am always stocking up on the cheap, and I have another baby to attend to. So I hope you got some inspiration to stock up in the event of an emergency, in the event of the unknown. That's what preparedness is all about, and you can do it with a positive mental attitude. I promise you that. Alrighty, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you had a good time watching all of what we got for the food shortage stock up. I really hope this is inspirational. I am hoping that you can get to your discount stores and find something that you can stock up on. Again, I have a baby screeching in the background, promise she's okay, but there are so many different items on this food shortage list, and I will drop it in the comments below. But let me know what in your area is at a shortage and what have you been looking into as an alternative. I'm super interested. Of course, this was not a bulk buy, but I do that from time to time. So if you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. If you're new, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Trying to get your attention, you make me nervous.